In this video, we're going to talk about the kinds of content that you can assign your outsourcers to start with. Now, this is assuming that you've hired an overseas outsourced worker and are in the process of training them. The tasks that we'll talk about in this video are great pieces of content that they can create on your behalf. And don't assume either that they wouldn't be able to create more in-depth pieces after they've worked with you for a while and become familiar with your niche and your style, because they absolutely can. We get the most out of our employees when we train them and then trust them and make adjustments along the way. But for this video, we're going to talk specifically about the jobs that you can give them when they're just starting out right off the bat to get them familiar with niche content creation and your business. So the first one that's super easy for an outsourced worker to do is to take photos from Flickr, the Creative Commons licensed photos like we talked about that may have some relevance in your niche, and then create a short post with a description of the photo. This is particularly relevant for visual niches. It wouldn't work so good in a niche like internet marketing, but anything that can have a visual representation of products, of ways of doing things, how-tos, that kinds of thing, can be a great post for your workers to start out with. They can also do the same thing but with YouTube videos. So they can curate and find really great videos on YouTube and then create a short introduction and or conclusion for those videos. And that won't take more than some time browsing YouTube and a little bit of knowledge about what would make a good video versus what would make a video that isn't really worthwhile being posted to your site. And this will really work in just about any niche because there's YouTube videos on any and every topic out there. They can also do the keyword focused blog posts. Now, to get started, my recommendation would be to give them a list of keywords that you'd like them to write blog posts about, and you can do your research in Market Samurai or using the Google AdWords keyword tool to figure out which keywords you do want posts to be written about and focused around. I find that outsourced workers, some folks have success with it, but I haven't. That outsourced workers maybe have really great English skills, but when we're doing keyword research, I've found that native English speakers tend to be able to kind of understand the nuances of what it is that people are looking for when they're typing certain phrases into the Google search box better than somebody who is an outsourced type of overseas worker. You may have a different experience than me, of course, but at least when you're getting started, because keyword research is something that takes a little bit of time to learn, when they're getting started, go ahead and just give them a list of keywords and let them know that you'd like them to use the keyword in the post title, you'd like them to use the keyword in the post body maybe 3 times, and that you'd like the post to be around 400 words, 500 words, whatever fits your particular blog and your particular niche, and then let them go to town writing really great content centered around those keywords for you. They can also write how-to posts. Now, there's tons of how-to information on the internet, so of course they'll be able to find how to do something if they don't already know how to do it, and then they can take those resources that they found with instructions, compile it into a really great post, maybe including some photos from Flickr or even a video from YouTube, and create a step-by-step how-to sort of process for your readers in something that is commonly asked about in your niche. And similar to that, your outsourced workers can also put together the FAQs and the Q&A type of posts. Now, in FAQ, of course, you would want to let them know in the start what the most frequently asked questions are, and then set them off on creating a post answering those questions. Same thing with the Q&A. You can either set them off with a list of questions to answer, or to create a totally independent situation, you can send them over to a site like Yahoo Answers and tell them that their responsibility in this project is to find 1 question per day that they can answer about your niche that they found from that Yahoo Answers site, and then to go and create a blog post with the question and then the accompanying answer for you. And of course, let them know up front that you don't want that post to be on Yahoo Answers. Make that very clear. You want it to be on your blog, of course. And then finally, one of the other ones that's really great for new folks starting out is to do the breaking news. And we talked about how the breaking news kind of post is when you just want to alert your niche readers that something is going on in your niche, but you will have a longer opinion type of piece or editorial kind of piece later on once all of the implications of this particular thing is understood. Now, it would most likely be you that creates that longer editorial or opinion piece. But as news is breaking, your outsourcers can absolutely create a post on your site for you, letting your readers know, hey, this thing happened in our industry. Continue looking back here for more coverage on this topic, and that will give you time to actually be creating that editorial or opinion piece about the implications of this breaking news, and not spending time yourself actually just writing the, hey, there's news post. So there's quite a few hats that even a brand new outsourcer can provide for you and your site, whether that's or in terms of creating different kinds of content. And once they've got the hang of the basic content types that we talked about in this video, they can branch out into the other types of posts. Or if you want to, you can reserve those for yourself to do if you want to keep your personal voice present on your site. So fill in the rest of their time beyond this content creation with link building and site maintenance and general assistant responsibilities, and you'll find you've got a lot more free time for yourself. Also, if you feel like you don't have enough work for an outsourced worker, consider pairing up with another internet marketer who's in a similar position with you. Still hire one person full-time, but split that cost amongst yourselves and split that outsourced worker's time between the two of you. And that way you guys can both get a dedicated content creator, link builder, virtual assistant without having to deal with out-tasking, because that's just not as effective as outsourcing for the kind of jobs and the kind of longevity that you want in your business.